Hello and welcome to another Purveyor of Light Photo Quick Tip. Today we're going to have a fun one. We're going to edit a photo in Apple's photo application. This is an unsung hero of an application and is absolutely free if you're a Mac user. I don't know why more people use this, because for 98% of the people in the world, this is all you ever need to edit your photos. It's quite powerful, quite friendly, quite easy to use. So let's go ahead and get started. So normally you would start by looking in your library and picking a photo here. And I say, okay, I like this photo. This was taken a number of years back. I'm going to go up to edit in the upper right corner. And that brings us into the editing screen where we can make our adjustments. And we have this big long panel. Okay, and some of the panels may be opened or closed depending on where you left the program. I just open everything up, and then I work my way from top down. Okay, so when I look at the photo, I just look at the photo. Okay, what do I like? What do I dislike? What do I want to improve? All right, etc., etc. So the first thing I say, okay, is there anything I need to remove, or heal? Right. And I'm looking at the photo and I'm going, I don't really see anything. I can zoom in here by using this control slider in the upper left. And I can move the photo around, looking at the different aspects to say, okay, is there anything that's grabbing my eye? And I've noticed there's a little bit of noise because it was taken at night. Okay, that's the little static noise, as we call it. But other than that, looks great. Now there's another thing too that I'm looking at it. I'm going, I would like the blacks to be a little darker. I'd like maybe the color boosted just a little bit to make it more interesting. So, okay, there's some things, minor tweaks, but other than that, it's a nice image. So I'm going to start right at the top onto the section called light. All right. Now, look at all these sliders. Brilliance, exposure, highlights, shadows, brightness, contrast, black point. You go, that's a lot for a beginner to grasp in what to do. Apple makes it easy. It says, just take this bar up here and slide the white bar left or right until you like what's happening to the photo. So let's try it. Take the white bar and I'll slide it. Isn't that cool? And you'll notice that all the values are changing down below as we slide it. And that'll help you understand, as you're learning, what each one of these sliders do. Right? And do you want to make adjustments? You can. You can always come down here and move in and bring the shadows up or bring them down. Okay? It's completely under your control. But for starting out, I recommend just taking the slider here and then let your eye be the guide. What do you like? Do you like that? Or maybe somewhere in between. Or maybe you want to come in and just hit the reset button here and come in and do some tweaks and slide the bars till you're happy. For me, if this big slider does the job for my look, then I'm going to use it. I'm not too proud to sit there and not take advantage of technology. And this is doing exactly what I'm asking it to do. It's increasing the blacks, and I like that look. Okay? It's not where I want it to be yet, but this is a good starting part. So what did it do? It increased the brilliance. It dropped the exposure down a little bit, took the highlights down, brought the shadows up, the brightness, took it down, the contrast, it increased contrast a little bit, and it definitely raised the black point. All right, so let's go to the next section, color. Is there anything I want to do with the color? Well, I would like to see maybe some of the colors intensified a little bit. What do? I have saturation, contrast, control. Oh, let's use the big slider. Let this come in and see what it does. And you say, well, I can't really tell what happened. Just simply hit the little check box, and that'll be before and after. before and after. That'll give you an idea of what's changing. Now, I'm just going to do some slight contrast, very slight change. So I've added a little bit of saturation, a little bit of contrast. I'm not going to make this picture a black and white, but I could if I wanted to just see what it looked like. I could just hit auto and see what it looks like as a black and white. And I can come in and make adjustments. And I go, is there anything I like? But I think the color really adds something to it. So I'm not going to do black and white. So I'm going to undo that. So going on down, is there any retouching I need to do? You know, does she have an ugly 5-foot wart on her face and I need to remove that? Then I could do that with the retouching brush. The red eye, well, her eyes are not really a part of the thing, but if she did happen to have red eye, we could just simply remove that using the red eye tool. White balance, I think we're good. Curves, okay. Now this, I definitely want a little more contrast, a little more boost into this image. So I'm going to do what's called technically an S-curve, okay? Not complicated. You can mimic this with any of your photos. Go about a third of the way in, click once and put a dot. From the bottom, click a third of the way in and put a dot. Okay? Now I want you to take the first dot you put in and raise it up a little bit. Not much. Minute adjustments. Then this lower one, I'm going to lower it. Now look at what we've done. We've put contrast into the image. So I'll turn it off and on. Quite a dramatic effect. Now, how much I do is how much I move these up or down. Okay, I can make it quite dramatic by dropping this. Now, for those of you that are not understanding what's going on here, this left side is your blacks. This right side is your whites. Or we like to refer to these, the left as your shadows and the right as your highlights. Okay, so looking at this, this is the shadows in the image. This candle flames would definitely be highlights. The lights behind her here on the side down the street would definitely be highlights. What we're doing here is we're adjusting what's happening. So sliding it up and down, and I'm looking with my eye. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's what my eye likes. Because remember, when you're editing a photo, you're creating your art. You are a creative. You are an artist. Okay? Don't let anybody tell you, oh, well, this is the right way and there's no other way to do it. Okay? Bullcrap. Okay? There's no other way to say that. Photography, as much as an art, as a painter or anything else, you are painting your canvas. You are making this image the way you want it to be. Okay? So remember that. Don't let anybody in this industry tell you there's only one way to do something or there's only one way that is right. Okay? Because that's just bullshit. And I'm sorry for the language, but that's just what it is. I want you to be true to you. All right? So don't be afraid. Grab your dots. Pull it up. See what happens to the picture. Bring it back down. Okay? And then do the before and after and see if you like that. Okay? I'm going to make my final adjustments here. And there. There we are. I think I like that. Okay, I brought in the shadows down just ever so slightly, and I brought the highlights just slightly up. And again, if you look, this is a classic slope S. So it's the shape of an S if you look at the line. Okay, that's called a classic S curve. And it's for adding contrast. Now, I could do the reverse of this, right? Instead of an S curve, I could do a reversed one. So I come in and bring this down, and then bring this down, and you can see what happens to the image. Okay? There's no right or wrong is what I'm trying to explain. It's your art. It's your photo. You do what you like. And you're using your eye to make taste, how you like the image to go. Turning it on and off. And I go, this adds drama. I like this. I'm going to go with the gentle S-curve. Then I have levels. Okay. I'm not really going to mess with the S-curve. Did what I wanted. The definition. Okay. Let's see here. I'll take a little definition into the photo. Let's see what Apple says. I'll put it on auto. Oh, just about what I said. All right. So we put a little definition, selective color. I'm not going to do any color changes to this image. But noise, yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of noise reduction. And that's that grain that's in the photo. Okay, so if we come in and we zoom into the shadows, you can see this ever so slightly a little static. It's not bad. Okay, it's a pretty clean image, but I just want to remove some of that noise. And so I'm going to come up until the noise is removed out of the image. Okay, and it never hurts to zoom in to see how you did. If you like it, and that really did a good job of removing the noise. So I'm quite happy with that. Okay, so there we go. Do we want any sharpening? Now again, if you want to open up and do some sharpening, you can. But this particular picture, I like the moodiness of it. Okay, that's why I took this one. It was because I want it to be a soft image. I want it to be a moody picture. So does this fulfill that? All right, so now, am I going to put a vignette on it? I don't really want to on this particular image. So I think I'm really done, okay? I could do any last minute tweaks if I want, okay? But now let's take a look at the before and after. Now, over here in the upper left is a little button that shows you without adjustments, with adjustments, okay? Don't hit this revert to original because that'll undo everything you just did, all right? But just hold this down, and that's the before. That's what we started with. You see how it's kind of like hazy, a little bit of loss of detail, lack of contrast. And now this is what we've done. I just released the button, and that's what we've turned this image into. We have contrast, we have depth, we've got great definition, we've removed a lot of the noise, and I think we did a great image here. Okay? Again, before, that's where we started, and the after. Fantastic image. And you know what? We did it with an application that's absolutely free and standard on every Apple Mac machine there is. And we had our thing and we got the result. That's the main thing. Did we get the results? Or did I have to resort to Lightroom and Photoshop to get what I wanted? In this case, no. I didn't have to resort to anything other than the built-in functionality of Apple Photos. So there you go. I know it's been a little bit of a long one. I'm long-winded at times, but I really like to explain to people because I want people to get into it, and I want people to edit their photos, enjoy the process, because that's what it's all about, is enjoying the editing process, because it's one part of photography's steps, right? Taking the picture is one step, but the post-processing is another step. And you can make every photo that much better by taking the time. Now, if I was doing this edit and not doing a video tutorial, this edit would have took me probably 30 seconds, and then I'm done. So again, before and after. I think it's a great moody picture. Okay. All right. Hopefully you like this. Till next week, you guys take care.